I get a lot of questions about the benefits and dangers of AI, and I like to describe AI as it relates to a tree. Every branch being a different discipline of AI. One could be, self-driving cars, autonomy, or another discipline can be LLMs, large language models, which we typically relate to ChatGPT. I've seen a good description of this in this video.
What's this image here?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite images, actually. I call it like the tree of all knowledge. So, we've been talking a lot about science, and a lot of science can be boiled down to, if you imagine all the knowledge that exists in the world as a tree of knowledge, and then maybe what we know today as a civilization is some, small subset of that. And I see AI as this tool that allows us as scientists to explore potentially the entire tree one day. And we have this idea of root node problems that, like AlphaFold, the protein folding problem, where if you could crack them, it unlocks an entire new branch of discovery or new research. And that's what we try and focus on at DeepMind and Google DeepMind, to crack those. And if we get this right, then I think we could be, in this incredible new era of radical abundance, curing all diseases, spreading consciousness to the stars.
I think we're on a dangerous path with AI, and if Congress does not act to ensure that there's safeguards, guardrails, and regulation applied to these tech companies, we're going to continue to see different kinds of harm on society, whether it's censorship, whether it's algorithms that cause our teenage children to commit suicide or become bulimic or anorexic. All of these algorithms that are currently being deployed on society causes what's called a confirmation bias, and it reinforces our biases. So it has to change. To me, it has to change, and that's where ethics comes in. I believe this is fundamental to what AI ethics is. We often consider business ethics and other disciplines of ethics. We have whole coursework dedicated to business ethics. I feel that the same thing should be devoted to AI ethics, which absolutely has everything to do with the kind of algorithms we're developing. I've worked in technology long enough to know that if we don't start regulating these tech companies to prevent them from pushing harmful algorithms to the most vulnerable and uninformed people in our society, we're going to continue seeing this kind of harm.
Let me ask you this. There's families of victims here today. Have you apologized to the victims? Would you like to do so now? Well, they're here. You're on national television. Would you like now to apologize to the victims who have been harmed by your product? Show them the pictures. Would you like to apologize for what you've done to these good people?
I'm sorry for everything that you've all been through. It's terrible. No one should have to go through the things that your families have suffered. And this is why we invested so much and are going to continue doing industry-leading efforts to make sure that no one has to go through the types of things that your families have had to suffer.
My hope is that we can start implementing regulation and guardrails for tech companies that push out harmful algorithms. The sooner Congress can start being proactive on this instead of reactive, the better. As AI relates to a tree, and every branch being a different discipline of AI, it just makes sense to ensure that that regulation is in place. Just like a gardener, it makes sense for a gardener to take care of his own garden. We have to keep the AI tree pruned, if you will. And this push, because of how AI is a technological change in our society, this must be pushed to Congress, and Congress needs to be proactive on it.